I'm here today with nutritional coach and training specialist out of Osaka, Japan, Mr. Andy Morgan. Andy, what's up, man?
Hey, Raj. Thanks for having me, bud.
Glad to have you, man. Also, we have Mark on the call. Did I get that right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. All right. So today we're pretty much going to cover any questions you have about training and nutrition, all in support of we're trying to raise awareness and we're trying to raise funds for people in Orissa, India. We're trying to provide families with clean water over there. So we appreciate you and taking your time out of your day, Andy, to come here and speak with all of us and drop some knowledge for the world to share.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
All right. So Mark, man, you hit us with any questions you have floating around in there in your head.
All right. Awesome. So lean gains. First off, Andy, thanks for putting together the ripbody.jp site because I had tried to read leangains.com and everything just flew over my head. And when I came across your site, it explained everything for me, and I was just like, oh, well, snap, this makes sense. And I tried to do it myself, and I failed. And then that's when I sent you an email, and I was just like, hey, can we do this? And I know I sent you a picture of my results before as well as after working with you, so that's pretty damn awesome. Oh, this is live. I shouldn't curse. That's right. Okay, cool.
It's okay, man. It happened. That was last night. You go for it.
All right, cool. But I wanted to know, this was working with you was something that really inspired me to dig more into the, understanding nutrition, because health and fitness, it runs in my family. My dad's a doc, but I never really understood it as well as I would have liked to. And so I wanted to know, from your perspective, how did you get into this? How did you come to understand it as well as you do now, and then eventually go on to start helping people?
Question first to me, or do you want to take that over to Raj? Or
actually, both of you, actually. Yeah.
All right. Raj, shall I take this one first? Is that cool with you?
You go for it, man.
Yeah. First of all, Mark, it's really nice to put a video to the name, and I was actually, it's interesting. I was looking at your pictures just earlier today because I was making a small slideshow for a couple of new posts on the site.
Oh,
and
nice.
I was actually looking at your before and after pictures today, so I was thinking about you. I won't say your family name, but A ending in S, right?
Yes.
Yes. Right. Yeah. For me, what got me into it, it was just born out of frustration, really. I was at a point about 5 years ago. I was training what I thought. I was training how I felt, like I was an athlete, but I wasn't looking like I was one. In fact, a girl turned around to me and she says, "You know what? For all the training you do, you don't actually look like you kind of do that much training." I was just kind of like, "Oh, yeah." Right. And actually, funny enough, I was in India at that time. I was in Delhi. I was just traveling around just for 1 month at that time. I was in India, and it was an Indian girl that said that to me. Damn. And that kind of made me reassess things and where I was. And at that time, I was doing a lot of martial arts. I was doing Aikido, about 6 sessions a week, karate once or twice, depending on schedule. I was trying to fit in the gym 3 days a week there as well. I then went down the whole supplement route. Okay, well, I need to... I'm not looking great. It must be that my supplementation is lacking. And this quickly led to $50, $100, $150, $200, $250 a month being spent on good old bodybuilding.com.
Oh, wow.
Plus then the shipping fees back to Japan because the supplements are so expensive here, right? And then I still wasn't getting the results. And then it led me to just look more deeply into nutrition. And I found that really it comes down to your diet. Training is a big part. It's a synergy, but diet is a massive thing. And I started going to a gym where getting shredded cut up for shows is just what happens every summer. It's just normal. It's the norm. And everyone at the gym's pretty much a powerlifter or a bodybuilder. This is a gym in Osaka, just down the road from me. Started going there, and I, just started asking questions. And then yeah, I dropped the Aikido for 3 months. I dropped the karate, and I made a deal with my friend Jeremy. I said, we said that we're going to get shredded by summer. It was about May, something like that, right? Mm-hmm. And we were still going to go out and get smashed on the weekends. Because, we're 24, right?
Awesome.
But we said, right, we're going to bust our nuts in the weekdays, right? So we were there like 5 days a week, 6 days a week, maybe sometimes I think it was. And I did the whole 6 meals a day, and then, like half an hour cardio, hour of cardio. And sure enough, got shredded. 2-3 months, something like that. Looked good. And I wasn't really spending much money on supplements to do it. And really, that's kind of, it was that point when I got shredded and I realized I didn't need to spend all this money, and that actually a lot of the marketing is just aimed to steal from our pockets. I just thought, you know what, I want to help people do this without spending a fortune, in a sustainable way, and that really was what got me to helping people out,
Nice. Oh, that's really cool, man. Because one of the things that I noticed when I was reading your site is, I was reading and I was like, oh, he's like a real person. Like, it didn't feel like you were trying to like push anything over on anybody and stuff like that. And even working with you, there's no, oh, you need to work with me for a year, or there's any monthly subscription. It's like, no, you actually say straight up that, okay, after 3 months, there's not really much point to you continuing to work with me, because it's like, the system. You'd rather work with new people, because there's always new people that need help. So, yeah, man, that's what's up.
Man.
Yes, thanks, man. Yeah. Yeah, Raj, I think you're up, bro.
I guess now I have to talk about. I like that origin story, man. Mine was kind of similar. It really, well, aside from not being in Japan and all, but I started I kind of dabbled earlier on in life, and by dabbled I mean like going into the gym once or twice. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I really didn't do anything. It was like I did some bench presses and then I left, and I didn't come back for another year or two. But it doesn't really count as working out. I tell people I work out, but it wasn't really working out. So essentially, I got to college and I was like, you know what? I was skinny. I was like 165 pounds with an afro. So I looked like a ghetto Super Saiyan that didn't need it all. So I was like, all right, I'm going to try this out. Let's see how it works. And I was on bodybuilding.com. I was on T Nation. I was ordering everything I could get my hands on. I was trying every diet like every other week. I was doing the anabolic diet where you don't eat carbs during the week, then you eat all of them on the weekends. That obviously didn't work because my whole weekend I just spent in bed because I was just tired because I ate a box of cereal or 3. So essentially, it got me on the right path, and I started to learn more. I got the fundamentals down, which I think was really good in my case. I didn't go through too long a period of just rambling around and doing weird stuff. But the main thing that really drove me crazy was the nutrition advice at the time. So this is about 2007. So
okay,
like Andy was saying, it was 6 or a bajillion meals a day. So I had a duffel bag on campus, and I was walking around like a soldier. I had like chicken in there, I had broccoli and rice, and then I also had a blender. And then I also the whole blender, not just like a little hand one. I had the base and then the glass thing. So this was a serious endeavor. And the worst part was I worked in a library. So I went to the library and I made shakes with in the library. So it was ridiculous. It was bad. But after a while I was like, okay, I'm looking good, but this is way too much effort. Why? It can't be like this. It has to be. It's like the infomercials. Like, it has to be a better way. So eventually I just started to, experiment, and I signed up for Precision Nutrition at the time, and they really helped. They were big on the 6 meals a day, but they also were big on the habit formation, which isn't really talked about.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, as I got that down, my mindset started to shift, and I was, afterwards I was exposed to different things, and one thing led to another. Like, I found Alan Aragon's research, and that blew my mind wide open. And since then, I was like, wow, okay, I really, I had a transformation, and I thought, okay, why can't I help other people do the same, similar to Andy? Because I was spending tons of money on supplements too. I was buying like the acai berry and all these just random things like with the waxy maize, and I don't even know where I was getting this money from, but I should have been spending on supplements. But essentially, it all led back to a place of sanity, which I'm thankful for, because now it gives me the opportunity to help others just like Andy is, and just really get them to see that you can have the body you want. It's not as difficult as people make it out to seem, but it does require work, but not as much as you might think.
Yeah, no, absolutely agreed. Because I saw your, I guess a success story, or, Rip Body story particularly, and I was just like, oh shit, wow, damn it, I did it again.
It's all good, man.
I
think it's okay. We're all adults here.
It's like it's a charity event. You want to, we're helping kids in India. Politically correct. Not working. But as soon as you said on the precision nutrition, it's kind of funny because like I just signed up for like their certification stuff.
All right.
And I'm trying to, because I really want to understand this stuff. And you had recommended reading Body Recomposition, as well as Alan Aragon's research review, and I signed up for it. And I proceeded to feel really dumb because I didn't understand half of what I was reading.
You know what, Matt? I'm man enough to admit that when I first started reading Alan Aragon's research review, I was a bit lost as well for half of it, because he does go quite into depth, and I was having to look in the English dictionary to find out what some of the words meant. But what I've found is, like, over the months, you keep reading, and I've gone through most of the back issues now. Okay. I have found I've actually started to think far more analytically. And I'm now starting to see the BS in headlines in papers, and say when like someone throws a study at me, I'll actually go, and if I've got more than the extract, I'll be able to go in and pick it apart. Yeah. So I persevere, definitely. Yeah. Raj, how was it for you, bud? Like, was it the same? Or? Raj, how was it for you?
Okay, I thought you were talking Mark. I'm like, yeah, pretty much. Like, essentially, when I first got it, I was like, this is great, and that was the first, because in the beginning of the issues, he has something to ease you into it, and then afterwards, it's like study. I was like, what is? There's graphs. There's no, this is not for me. So for the first couple months, I read the intro, and then in the late press, I'm like, yeah, all right, let's move on. But now that I got the hang of it more, I'm like, all right, let's actually look at this study. All right, I'm gonna look at one study today. Let's do it. And I feel smarter for having struggled through it. So it's actually fun. He's the first person that made reading research fun, and that's hard to do.
Yeah, like I'll be nice and not like dive into all the whatchamacallit, I guess all the takedowns and stuff that he does. He's ruthless, but it's awesome. Yeah, like he's pretty ruthless. So something I was curious about for both of you is when I saw Raj, when I saw you were working with Andy, I was like, that's interesting. Isn't that almost like hiring your competition in a way? How do you guys not, like, I guess bump heads, or because it seems like, at least from what I could see online, it seems like you're both in the online nutrition consultation space, basically.
Yeah, obviously Raj is going to be the one who's going to tell you why he hired me.
Okay.
I like to think of it as we are not in competition with each other. we are more when we work together than the sum of our parts.
Okay.
Because there's just so much. There are so many people out there that are looking to take advantage. But when you've got the few people that actually want to do good and want to, genuine people that really want to help others, without, like we make our living from this, yes, but it's not in a sleazy way. It's in a sustainable way, way that we're going to get recommendations. So by myself working with Raj, Raj working with me, the cross promotion, it helps bring more people aware of the service that we have. Honestly, like that's not the reason that we struck up this relationship. Hey Raj, so you're gonna hire me?
Guys, we're gonna get your clients, yes?
You want to take over from here, Raj?
Yeah. So it was, and I'm of the same mindset. I think that, in this industry, there's a ton of people out there that are just looking to make money and not really help anybody. So I look at it that we're all in this together, and the more we learn, the more people that we can just help together. Because there's far more people out there that need our help than we can possibly even help, one-on-one working with them. So the more we learn, it's just a team effort. It's like Voltron, you got to come together. I don't know who's the leg or the arm or the head, but we're all in it together pretty much. But I decided to work with Andy because I'd been doing intermittent fasting for a couple years at that point, and I loved it. So the first thing that popped in my mind was like, all right, Andy, because Martin, I'm like, I don't have any experience with Martin. I know he's out there doing his thing, but I've read Andy's stuff, and it's sensible, and I like the way he writes his approach and he comes across. So it's like, awesome. All right. I don't have to change my approach, which is, it was comfortable for me, so I didn't want to have to overhaul my whole system and try and learn a new way and have that be something that gets in the way. And then 2, I needed some kind of external accountability because, I'm sure, as it's easy to let ourselves down, like, all right, I got this goal, here we go. And then 2 weeks in, you're like, I don't really need it that much. But, knowing that I had to check in with Andy like every week or every other week, I'm like, all right, I kind of want to eat all of this food, but I'm not gonna because he's going to know when I send those measurements. And it's like, oh, I can't hide anywhere. So it was really good to have him right there, and I know he wouldn't treat me any differently than he would his other clients. And it was good to know that because he wouldn't let me off the hook.
I didn't. I couldn't. No. There were some harsh words said, but they had to be said. I think you'd admit, right? They were said with love behind them, right?
Yeah.
You know, I got good intentions there, yeah. Right? Yeah, I'm doing that.
It wasn't like harsh words, coming in there going, let me just give it to him for no reason, There was always a message behind it, and there was love. I was like, all right, he's not just being a turd. All right, let me take this advice to heart. And I knew it, too. I was like, all right, when I send this, I know what's up. All right.
Yeah, there were a couple of things that came up. Like, I usually work with people for 12 weeks. I'm not sure about yourself, Raj, but I give it a set time period. But I think it's good to have, a medium-term goal or endpoint in mind. And I just completely lost my chain of thought.
No problem. What time is it over there?
Oh, it's 7:20, but damn. In evening, yeah.
I've got tons more questions if it comes back.
Go, please. Yeah, shoot.
Yeah, sure thing. So, the other thing I was wondering about is I really liked how you gave credit back to Martin Berkhan for lean gains and everything that you learned from him and stuff. How did you, I guess, finesse, systematizing in a way what it is that he put out there to kind of respect him? Because it's like, okay, he did kind of do a lot of the groundwork and stuff for lean gains, and then expand on it so that you're not, I guess, if he either stepping on his market or anything like that.
Yeah, no, it's a good question. So Mark's talking about leangains.com. which is Martin Birken's website for those that are watching this either now or later on, which is an excellent website. Martin's kind of the father of intermittent fasting, kind of, and then perhaps Brad Pillon would be the mother of intermittent fasting. I don't know actually who was first there, huh? But yeah, the two important figures there. I approached Martin and I said, look, because I found his site, and I was doing the food hunt. You know, I felt like I was constantly on a food hunt all day. 6 meals, you know, carrying around the Tupperware. Like, I'd have a protein shake, so I couldn't go like for 3 hours without having some protein, because I thought my muscles would fall off. You know, I read Martin's site, loved it. I sent him an email and I said, look, I love it. People here in Japan, they get lied to all the time. I'd really like to help you push it here. I noticed you've got some other translations. Would you mind if I did some translations for you? And he was like, Bud, that would be absolutely wicked. Says, right, I'm going to do a sterling job of it for you because I really believe in this. And he was like, cool, thanks. And he was really nice.
Nice. Cool.
So I just started writing, trying to translate. I did it by myself at the start. It was terrible. It wasn't professional enough. So I ended up paying someone to do the translations for me. Then, like, I started getting more questions from my Japanese friends, and then I had to explain further. And of course, they can't go to leangains.com to read further, right? All the Western viewers are like, yeah, it's all on there. Just go and have a look, yeah. But the Japanese, like, they can't, so I had to, you know, translate to more likely because they're a less educated audience generally. Martin's stuff's quite high level and very in depth. Yeah. I kind of dubbed it down a bit. And what I found was the easiest thing to do was write it in English to collect my thoughts, translate it into Japanese, realize that my Japanese translation was a load of shit, and then get a good friend to translate it for me and buy them a few beers, you know? And it just took off from there. And basically I made a promise that I was going to do a good job. And I believe I said, look, I want to make you famous here in Japan, bud. And yeah, it just kind of went from there, you know. There hasn't been that much email back and forth, you know. But, you know, I've just stayed true to, you know, being respectful to the guy that, yeah, made the system, you know. It's not hard to just throw someone credit. I think people, you know, they respect that. And now, like, I'm really happy to say that the Japanese website that was spawned from there, it's not all about lean gains. We've got guest posts. We've got like Alan, guest posts from Alan there. Mark, nice. We've got a couple of Japanese authors on there as well. I'd love to have Lyle on there, but I'm a bit scared to approach him. That's Lyle McDonald of BuddyReComposition.com. But yeah. Now, like, lean gains is a natural thing. Lean gains in Japan is known. Intermittent fasting, no one knows it. People search for lean gains. It's quite a popular search term now.
Oh, wow.
I'm really quite happy to, you know, it's really good to see that. But yeah, we did it, you know, and yeah, it's cool. It's cool. We don't really have any customers from the Japanese side of things yet. I'm losing money. Like, I'm hella losing money on that, to be honest.
That's funny.
But I'm hopeful for the future, you know. Yeah.
Nice. All right. I love this. I'm sad this is almost over. This 30-minute.
Oh shoot, you're right. Wow.
But we have 4 more minutes. So you drop the questions. We will just answer them for you, man. You go for it.
Sorry, I'll be quick.
All right, cool. No. I lost track of time too. I was just like, oh man, this is fascinating. This is a great story. So you said Alan Aragon. I know you. Yeah, you mentioned that you had met him. Shoot, I think, you know, if you've met Alan and you guys are cool, I don't see any reason why Lyle, you know, wouldn't be pretty much down for helping out and stuff like that. Raj. That makes sense. Roger. Anyway, I'm tired. Don't judge me.
It happens more than you think.
So Raj, I saw like you've written for like lifehackerasman.com. Like, how did you, like, those are huge followings and stuff. How'd you, I guess, go about even writing articles and stuff?
Man, it was all really about putting in the time for years. Like I started my website in 2009. It's hard to believe now. It's been pretty much 4 years in September it was. So it's just really putting in that work, and then the connections that I make over time. The good thing is about the fitness industry is people are really helpful to those that help themselves first. So I found that the harder I work, people go, hey, all right, he's doing his thing. Let me, make a connection or this or that. So, a lot of it comes from the hard work up front, but I wouldn't be anywhere if it weren't for the kindness of people, seeing something in me and going, hey, all right, let me, pass it along or pay it forward like someone did for them when they got started. So much of that was just an introduction, and then once the introduction was made, I just tried to deliver, and luckily enough, they liked it. So I'm forever grateful for those opportunities, but really it just comes from putting in the work so that when the opportunities do come, you're ready. And luckily, I had my pants on when it was time to go. Oh man, we got time for one more question. I think you got anything in your heart you want to let loose?
What would you say is the most valuable thing that you provide for clients? What do they tell you, as opposed to, because like say on ripbody.jp, it's like you put pretty much the entire system up there. Someone could take all that information and have success for themselves. So what would you say it is that clients really value about working with you?
Objectivity. I let people, forget about it and let me take care of it. And they know that I know what I'm doing because I've got the experience. So that they can just relax and roll with it.
Okay. Cool.
Yep, essentially the same thing. And also, on my end, I give them a little bit of humor too. It helps take the edge off. Like if they mess up, I'm like, it's cool. You're not going to die. I'm not going to kill you or your family. You're gonna be okay. It's all right. It's just diet and exercise. Don't take it too seriously. And that goes a long way for people because they. Some people come to me with years of anxiety and this and that. It's like, all right, I'll take care of the details. You do the execution, but along the way, just relax. It's gonna be all right.
So I know we're out of time, and thank you guys so much for doing this. But would you guys mind if I follow up with you like in 1 through 3 months, just to see how stuff's going?
Please
go for it.
Yeah, awesome. Cool, guys. Thank you.
Awesome. Dude, thanks so much for coming on, Mark. And Andy, of course, Mr. Osaka himself. Much appreciated, man. Always
actually,
great to talk.
No, I have a friend. He actually is Mr. Osaka, so you can't call him.
There you go.
Andrew Morgan from Osaka, Japan. Thank you for being here. Please, Mr. Osaka, don't kill me. Yeah, we appreciate your help so much, and for you out there that are watching, I know you're watching. Thank you for participating in the 10K on 10-1 charity social media-thon. If you want to donate, look in the upper left-hand corner, bit.ly/10K4water. It's going to be good. We got a lot more coming up, so thank you for watching, and we'll be back shortly with more amazingness.
Yeah, thank you, guys. I've enjoyed this. Most appreciated.
Yeah, same here. You guys take care and enjoy the rest of your day.
You too.
All right, man.